All right, so first we're going to acknowledge that my wife and I are closer to 40 than we are to, let's say, 15. So I accept your judgment, I hear your judgment, and then I reject your judgment for buying these because I saw them online and I said I'm gonna get them, I don't care. So let's go ahead and talk about each one of these individually. All right, so first up, we got this guy. This is where they put the names and stuff on. This is Cam the Cat. So this is going to be top notes of cinnamon, foamy milk, caramel drizzle, middle notes of tiger orchid. I don't know what makes a tiger orchid smell different from a normal orchid, but it's there. Freesia, white peach, love peach, and then base notes of sandalwood, Squishmallows accord. I don't know what that means. I assume that means something like cashmere or something because it's a fabric. And then vanilla latte. So this is a gourmand kind of fragrance. We smelled most of these in the store, and I'll tell you ahead of time, they are all basically going to be very fresh, feminine, and extremely youthful. The real question I have is for the $58 price point, what's that longevity going to be like and projection and stuff like that? But we'll talk about the notes and how they present on here. All right, so first up, let's get the bottle out. Come on. All right. There we go. A friggin' adorable. It's a little cat and it's clear. All right, so let's take a look at what the cap looks like. I think the way this is going to work is you have, ooh, that's dangerous. So that is just a straight drop in to the fragrance. So you can get a good whiff of it, but you got to take that cap off because I think there's two atomizer options in here. First, you got the standard pump atomizer, which I don't think that's pressurized. It could be. I don't know. I might test it later. But this is what is marketed online as with these things, and that is the traditional vintage old-fashioned bulb style atomizer. So the way like old lady perfume was back in like the 50s, that's like what they're doing here. So we're gonna do that just to keep in line with what's going on. Now that being said, I don't know for sure. Gotta spin it all the way around. Pops on there. I don't super like how that arranges. Is there like a, I want it to kind of, is there a certain way to get the angle right, or does the angle always go the same? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's just always going to be spraying at a certain, I don't like that. I don't like the bulb sticking out that side. Let's see if we can do something about that. No, it looks like it always goes that same direction. I don't like that. That's annoying. I find that off-putting. All right, this shouldn't take this long. It really shouldn't, but it is. Yeah, see, like the bulb kind of is over here in front of the thing, but whatever. Maybe it's like to sit like that, kind of looks cute. All right, let's do a quick atomizer test. Let's see how good we can see it. Oh, there you go. Hope you can see all that. A lot of juice comes out. Oh, that smells very nice. Projects really well. I can already smell it really well. So based on just that, let's go ahead and get on the tester strip though. Hiya, hiya. All right, there we go. And 100%, it does smell like foamy milk. It basically smells like a very, very sugary, sweet kind of latte kind of vibe to it. So imagine like a cinnamon latte. That's what this is. That's downright pleasant. I'm not gonna lie. That's really nice. Super feminine. Like no man should wear this typically if they want to smell masculine. Now, if you want to get your feminine on, yeah, go for it, guys. But this is definitely going to be more of a traditional kind of feminine fragrance based on that opening. But it's very nice. Very, very honestly, oddly well blended. Doesn't come off as cloying. Doesn't smell overly synthetic or gross or any way. Just smells like a caramel latte. That's kind of what it is. It smells like a caramel cappuccino kind of thing going on. I will say that, sorry, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say caramel cappuccino. I should just say caramel latte because there's not a big coffee note in this. Just cinnamon, laconic notes, and caramel. Very nice. No complaint. No complaint there from me at all. Lovely. All right, but there's the bottle. That's what it looks like with the little bulb in front of it. So we'll go put this to the side a little ways and we'll unbox the next guy. All right, this next one, let's do pink next. We'll put this guy over here. Let's do pink next. Okay, so pink is going to be Pink Possibilities Eau de Parfum. I think that's kind of funny. This is also an Eau de Parfum concentration on these. That's actually kind of impressive for the price point. All right, this is Patty the Cow. Patty's family has the most popular booth at the Springtime Farmers Market. I'm not reading the rest of this. I didn't read them when I bought all the various what's it called? Beanie Babies. I'm not reading this for Squishmallows. But let's go ahead and pop this thing open. All right, now what this should be is top notes of fresh picked strawberries, dragon fruit nectar, and juicy kiwi. So this should be a fruity, sweet burst in the opening is what I would expect. Then you get middle notes of violet leaves, I like that, plum blossom, and water lily, followed by, again, I don't know what this note is, a base note of Squishmallows Accord, sheer amber, and pink sugar. I don't know what Squishmallows Accord is. I assume it's something they made up, or maybe it's like cashmere or some kind of fabric. Maybe that's what they're going for. We'll see. All right, this is going to be the classic girly girl pink. Look at that. Look at that cute little cow. That's adorable. I have to objectively point out. That is super cute. I'm losing my atomizers. Okay. Oh, the atomizers are also different colors. So like this is the standard atomizer for, what is it, Patty the cow? Is that her name? Yeah, Patty the cow gets a pink one, and then the cat got this gold one right here. So keep that in mind. Keep them, if you buy all three, keep them straight. Otherwise, you'll, I guess, offend the Squishmallow gods to the extent they exist. All right, let's go ahead and get these boxes closed out of my way. All right, this is Patty the cow. Let's get this off again. Careful with this because there's nothing stopping. If I spilled this, I would just have a very, very smelly room for quite a while. We're gonna do the bulb atomizer on this one as well because why the heck not? And let's get this thing screwed on. I swear I don't like how, if I start here, maybe it'll like screw on better. Now the bulb atomizer goes right over top every time. I wonder if that's just like so it can like sit like this and not take up much space on a shelf. I think that must be what they're going for. Like you put it here and it won't take up much space, but if it were to like stop here, it would like stick out way far. So I think that's what they're going for here. But we'll get that on there nice and tight. Go ahead and do a couple spritzes on this paper. Let's see how this goes. Ooh. It's actually a nice atomizer, all things considered. It puts out a decent amount of juices, obviously spraying it. You got a little bit of overspray on the actual atomizer itself. Whoo, that is fruity. Holy cow, that is like, that smells like, it's not like photorealistic strawberry, it's more like strawberry flavoring, if that makes sense. So like imagine you crushed a bunch of strawberries for strawberry jam, it's not that. It's more like strawberry candy. So this is, again, it's supposed to be fresh picked strawberry, dragon fruit nectar, and kiwi juice. I can definitely see the juiciness aspect of it. It's like a candy strawberry with a bunch of various juice elements to it. Yeah, again, very nice, super, super youthful. That is a young lady's fragrance, obviously based on who's selling this, Squishmallows, but it's very nice. There's no real complaint from me on that opening note. It is very sweet though, so it's also very sweet and nothing cutting it. It's not like they're gonna have it super sweet and then they're gonna mellow it out with some laconic notes, or it's super sweet and they're gonna mellow it out with maybe some vanilla. It is just straight, look at how much fruit I can throw at your face. It's very sweet, so keep that in mind. Yeah, again, eau de parfum concentration. That smells really nice. I enjoy that. That is a, if you like candy kind of smells, you'll like this. If you like any kind of fragrance family where it's like, ooh, this is this brand's candy smell. That's what kind of this reminds me of. Very juicy, very sweet, very, very, very kind of tart sweet to it. Very pleasant. Love the strawberry. Again, no complaints. All right. Let's go ahead and get this pushed off to the side, and that can go on my wife's shelf, and she'll be so proud of her little Squishmallows. And then the last one. This is going to be Moonlit Mist. So maybe like a noir fragrance? Probably not. This is Zumarez the Bat. Stand back. Zumarez baked a big batch of nachos. Okay, nachos. All right, so he's... all right, Zumarez, I guess that's a Hispanic last name. This Mallow is lifelong vegetarian. He's a vegetarian, so he's a vampire bat who doesn't like drink blood. Okay, whatever. It's all the whole thing is about nachos and cheese. That's the entire like paragraph about the character. This is all nachos and cheese. This does not smell like nachos and cheese. That would be terrible. But this is going to be top notes of green apple, lychee blossom, and sweet cherry. So another very fruit-forward fragrance, but some floral thrown in there. Middle notes of pink peony, more floral, pear flower, lily of the valley, and then again, I don't know what this is. It's Squishmallows Accord, American cedarwood as opposed to other cedarwood, and then some soft musk. So this is going to be fruit, floral, powdery sweet is what we're kind of gonna get out of this based on those notes. So let's get the paper out, let's talk about it, let's get this thing unboxed, get the atomizer on, the whole process taking place very quickly, hopefully, so I don't just keep rambling on. Let's look at the presentation. Oh, it's a cute little fat bat. It's like a chunky bat. It's chunked up. Got the purple atomizer standard for it. It's for quick, easier storage. And then of course, the bulb atomizer, which we're going to use today because we're not doing anything other than that. Let's get that thing opened up. Normally on this channel, I always test on skin. I'm choosing not to do that this time because mainly these are not my style of fragrances typically. So you're gonna, see that one didn't do the same as the rest. Let's, go on. Yeah, that one's like almost like aiming behind it. So there's not a lot of consistency with this. I don't want to sit there and break the cap though. That'd be awful. One second, Zoomerez, we'll get this right. Start here. If I start all the way over here, that's a little better. That kind of sits a little nicer. But yeah, there's Zoomerez the bat with his atomizer. Let's get the paper out. There it goes. Probably got my lens. Oh, I've definitely got my lens on my camera. Oh well, I'm sure the autofocus will power through it. All right, let's go. Apple. Okay, that's apple. Hardcore. I smelled this in the store and I was like, I smelled the apple a lot, but I was also surrounded by other Ulta sprays going everywhere, so I can't say for sure if I was smelling the apple or somebody else's stuff. But yeah, that is green apple in particular, like a Granny Smith kind of apple. With a little bit of the cherry, if it's there, it's not like a typical, usually the biggest thing I think with cherry flavors or cherry notes is, oh, I don't want it to smell like cough syrup. I'm not getting that vibe from this one iota, nothing. It's just, I'm getting really more of a green apple plus some florals. Very nice, again, perfect for a young woman. Like there's like anybody who spray this on, who's, I mean, if a high school girl walked in a high school smelling like this, they would smell very nice. If a woman in her 50s smelled like this, they would also smell very nice. There's no real issue there. These are just mass appealing sweet fragrances. And I'll say this, they're mass appealing sweet, but also mass appealing sweet plus clean. So they're very clean overall. That's at least what I'm getting from it. I'd say the fruity ones are a little more on the synthetic side, but not in a bad way, more like artificial flavoring candy kind of way. Like this does not smell like a photorealistic green apple. It smells like green apple Jolly Ranchers is kind of what I get from it. So again, if you like the candy era fragrances, the candy side of the fragrance world, you're gonna be happy with this one as well as the pink cow right here because they very much exude that kind of candy fragrance thing going on. If you want something that I would consider to be like a light gourmand, that's what you want right there. This is kind of a light gourmand. It's not super heavy. And then you got your two candy sisters right here. Or maybe one's a brother. I don't know the gender of these various Squishmallows. I don't want to assume it. But yeah, so far, I'm loving these to death. I'm gonna jump back in. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm gonna post it as is. I'm gonna post this video the way it is. It just is what it is. And and if you have a question or comment, I might do a short video or something to talk about all the longevity stuff. But yeah, these are fun. These are interesting. And yeah, enjoy them. Like give them as a gift. They're really kind of cool and they actually do smell pretty nice.